Hi, my name is Ariana Bratsis, and I run a comic series called Twin Souls Club. And today I'm going to be showing you how to draw Lucas from Twin Souls Club. Lucas, well, all my characters I start with a basic circle. Lucas has a very narrow and then squared off jaw. I mean, it's a literal square at the bottom. It's extremely flat. Then I draw a line right through the middle where the chin would be. And I actually always start with Lucas's ears, which I do right about, if you see where that curve goes from the circle up to the, where it converges with this line of his jaw, I always do the top of the ears right there because he has kind of these low ears. Then what I normally do is erase those lines just so I can kind of get rid of it. I do his curly hair, which is pretty easy. I mean, Lucas just has this big fro of curly hair. Let's see. And you just kind of do it almost like a cloud, you know? I mean, see how it almost looks like a cloud right there, just over his forehead. And then bring two lines out like that on the sides. And then generally what I want to do is then bring it up in this kind of like, you can do whatever pattern you want for this, kind of like this bushy beanie, you know, kind of thing. And then you're going to keep this line and you're going to put lines on it. You're going to keep that line right there, and you're going to want to put lines on it for the brim of his hat. Then you're going to want to bring his neck down, and you're going to want to bring it straight out at a very slight angle. I'm going to give him a turtleneck, and then I'm going to do some lines here just to kind of represent that that's his shirt. And then you're going to want to, he has a really like crooky nose. So you're going to want to do a slight angle and then just a slight curve right there. And that's his nose, basically. I'm going to draw him scowling because Lucas is, of course, the villain of Twin Souls, and he is not a very happy camper. His eyes are wide and almost flat. They're barely curved at all, really. And then he has these squared off kind of eyes. So they look kind of like that. He also has freckles, but I'm going to do that when I ink it. And I'm going to talk about Lucas's character while I ink his drawing. Lucas is a very manipulative person. He's definitely like the type of person to get what he wants out of force or by any means necessary. Lucas is extremely selfish, but he's very, very, very smart. He just uses his intelligence to actually, unfortunately, manipulate or sometimes degrade or berate others into doing what he wants, which is not a very good characteristic for anyone to have, obviously. Lucas comes off as very charming in the beginning, kind of like a narcissist would, and eventually just gets to this point where, you know, his facade has to wear off. Lucas also has these really thick eyebrows, if you want to just put those on. I originally had those and then I took them off, but then I'm adding them in the new edition as much as possible. Lucas is the type of person who he will say anything and everything to get you to believe him and to get you to believe his lies and all of that stuff. And then eventually he has to drop the act because he gets tired of doing it and he can't get what he wants and he gets exasperated. And that creates a problem for him. And then, you know, he exiles you out of his life, or he gets vindictive, or he does whatever he needs to do to prove to you that he's in control. Because that's what Lucas is about. He's all about control. Even before the big fight with him and Quinn, he was always about that. It's just part of his personality. After you've inked Lucas, you're going to... there we go. You're going to erase those messy sketch lines and just pray to Cthulhu or whatever you believe in that it's not gonna smear, but it always will, because that's my life, I guess. Lucas has black hair, so I'm gonna pull out my black Prismacolor marker, and I'm going to just kind of fill in that cloud, just that little cloud that we just drew, you and I, because I'm assuming you're drawing with me. If not, then just me. I guess I'm going solo. Lucas grew up in a really abusive household. He was treated really badly by a lot of people in his family, and it kind of turned him into a little bit of a monster. It kind of made him kind of crazy, kind of made him who he is. Now, not that that's an excuse, because Adeline was also raised in a really abusive environment, and look at her. I mean, she doesn't have any issues like that, but definitely it turned him more on the dark side, for lack of a better word. And it kind of molded him into who he was. When his parents died in the car accident, instead of feeling typical remorse, or grief, all he felt was relief that they were gone. I mean, that's how bad things were. And, it just shows how unempathetic of a person he is, that he just doesn't have that emotional capacity to feel bad even about his parents dying. So that's really crazy. I gave him a green turtleneck because he normally wears green in the comics, and I don't know why, but to me, green is a color of envy and evil. Like, green is just a negative color to me. Sorry if anybody of you like green, but green is just kind of an archetypal color of jealousy, evil. I want to say it's kind of like a nefarious color almost, and that's why I always have him wearing green. The brim of his hat is just this nice dark brown. He always, always, always wears this beanie, always, to cover up his atrocious hairdo. I know I'm roasting Lucas right now. It's hilarious. I mean, he's the villain, so whatever. And then the rest of his beanie is just kind of like this, this tan kind of color. It's not really tan, it's a brown, but it's like a lighter brown. I don't know why I said tan. It used to be like a brownish beige, but in the new editions, everybody got kind of like a redo. Then let's see what else. And then I don't give him any blush because he is kind of lifeless in the fact that he is lost all capacity for emotion and lost all ability to empathize and be human. And in losing his humanity, I try not to give him very much blush at all. So I'm going to do this without giving him the rosy cheeks that I normally give my characters. And then you want to be wary of the black ink when you color the skin tone so that it doesn't smear. Although here we are again. And then just leave the whites of his eyes, white. All right, and there you have it. This is Lucas Trenton. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more Twin Souls characters get illustrated and if you want to see more tutorials. Thank you.